everybody, it's KayBeast, and for this week's video I am going to do a sketchbook tour. A few weeks ago I finally cleaned out all the old boxes of my stuff from the basement and found all my old sketchbooks, and today I went through and dated them and ordered them, which took a while because I had this bad habit of not dating my pictures, so there's a lot of guesswork involved, but I got them all labeled, so I'm ready to start going through and showing you my artwork. For this one, I have my very first sketchbook that I actually saved. This is not the first thing I ever drew in, but it's the first thing that I actually held on to. So, this is my sketchbook from middle school. This is from 2001-2002, and I was 13 and 14 when I had this. Because of the shape of it and the fact that I drew on both sides, I'm actually going to take my camera off the mount and hold it with my hand, so the filming style is going to be a bit more vlog-like, but it's easier to show this sketchbook this way because of how large it is. So let's go through it. Okay, so again, I apologize if this is shaky. I'm going to try to keep this as steady as I can, but I'm holding this with my hand. So like I said, this is my very first sketchbook, and other than peeking in here to find dates so that I could actually, you know, figure out when I had this thing, I have not really looked through this. So, well, let's see how it goes. It's just a regular, random sketchbook. I think this was a Christmas present for my parents. I got a lot of art supplies at Christmas when I was growing up, so. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Whole bunch of animals. I like to draw animals when I was younger. I didn't start really drawing people continuously till high school. So I got a little bird, a cheetah, and an eagle, and a horse, and a heron, and a T-Rex. Oh my goodness. I drew a lot of dinosaurs and dragons. You guys will find out. So, oh boy. Yeah, so this was 13. And I'm pretty sure I drew on the back of this. So, let me look at all the smudge marks. Took me a couple of sketchbooks to realize that drawing on the first page was not a great idea. Yeah, this is why I'm doing this. And a kitty, I guess, and I used to sign my full name whenever I signed, and I hadn't figured out my signature yet. So I would take this to school with me and draw on it, and look at the smudge marks, because again, I drew on both sides. This was from a how to draw dinosaur video, and this book, which is like the Disney movie Dinosaur, I had a how to draw the characters book, and so a couple of these are from that. The next two pages are both from that book. I drew the main character. I can't remember what his name is anymore, but I drew the baby. So his head's a little egg shaped there. And then I did practice the foot. And then I did another full body one, and again his face wound up a little weird, but I use this book a lot, so I'm pretty sure the next page is, yep, next page is the same thing. I drew the raptors or whatever they were from the movie. I was too proud of this, but again I had the book help me, and then this was me drawing raptors on my own from memory. Kind of using the same like pose, but doing my own raptor kind of. So, because I was and still am really obsessed with dinosaurs, and this was during a phase where I watched the Jurassic Park movies a lot, and I'm talking like once every couple of weeks, a lot. Like I watched them a lot, so it was kind of in my head at the time. So I drew a lot of dinosaurs. Yep, another one. This was the Carnotaurus. I had a lot of difficulty with the pose that the book had, so I drew him. And I have this little guy peeking out of the corner. I had a problem with utilizing the whole page. Like I usually drew like in a corner, like a teeny thing or something, or it was this little thing in the middle of the page. I never really used the whole page all that much. So, and I wouldn't draw them to get away from drawing the full body. I'm like, I'm just gonna stick it in the corner there. So I did that a lot. I actually just ripped this page out when I was flipping it, so I'm going to tape that back in before I put it away. I drew a bird, and at the time that I drew this, it's kind of funny, birds were not actually known to be modern dinosaurs the way they are now, so it's kind of a break in the sketchbook, but in actuality, not really. I don't know. I'm a nerd. Don't mind me. More dinosaurs. These were actually toys that I had, which is why the Triceratops is missing a horn. My dog growing up chewed it off. But these were toys that I had, so I kind of did a little still life, sort of. I don't know why I didn't draw the other 2 feet. I drew them there. I didn't draw them there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this one was chewed on as well. I just can't remember there being tooth marks on his head because my dog chewed on him. So. This was the beginning of something. I think this was the beginning of the raptor thing from that book again, but I never finished it, so it's just guidelines, I guess. And here I drew a dragon as a little change of pace, and I'm pretty sure this was a toy my brother had. I think he might, because I think I remember him having something like this. Because this is a little too specific for my drawing style at the time. So yeah, I think I set it up on the table and I drew it. So, and another dragon. I guess I learned a couple of things from that toy, and then I drew this dragon on a hill, and I drew a lot of dragons. You're going to see a ton of them in my sketchbook. And this particular like face style with like the 2 horns and the little frills was how I drew them for years. And then I did slight embellishments, but this look right here is kind of what they always had. Like you saw my my dragon sculpture that I made probably like 4 years after I drew this. And yeah, no, I kind of stuck with this design for a really long time. And on the back, I was going to do a close-up of the face, but it proved a little too challenging for my skill level at the time, so I gave up. I was like, nope, this is not working. So I stopped. And then, again, smudges, because I drew on both sides and didn't realize that it wasn't a great idea when you do that much shading. Sorry if my kitty is being a brat. He's meowing outside the door, but I told him he can't come in while I'm recording. Salem! So here's a more random assortment of doodles. A T-Rex with his mouth was open, and I remember like really liking doing that. And then I did a couple of things that were lineless. I just sketched the outlines, and then I did a couple of lines on the inside, and I remember thinking that was a really cool idea. I don't know what this gator's doing. This little dragon shadow and a horse and an elephant, and the other side's kind of the same. Another T-Rex and another dinosaur and another dinosaur. Yep. Okay. So on this page we have Sparks and Spyro and a little Batman. And I had to draw arrows to make sure you knew which one was which, I guess. I played a lot of Spyro in 8th grade, like a ton. I was the only one in my family who could beat Treetops in the first game at the time. Like, yeah, like we were all playing it, but I was the only one who could beat it. And I distinctly remember being woken up by my mother at like, I don't know, 1 in the morning on a school night to beat Treetops for her because it was driving her nuts. And I was like, I just want to go to bed, Mom. She's like, just beat the game for me. And yeah. So that game was kind of my life at the time, so I had to draw Spyro and little Sparks. And this random assortment again, dinosaur, a weird lizard. And then these 2 things, which I have no idea what they are, but these little stick figure animal plant character things I used to draw in the margins of my notebooks at school all the time in like 7th and 8th grade. I mean, constantly. I would draw them on my worksheets. I would turn in homework and they'd be on there. My teacher would be like, stop drawing on your homework, Karen. I'm like, sorry. So I have no idea what these are or where I came up with them, but I drew them a lot. And I decided, you know what, if I draw these so much on my homework and stuff, I need to put them in a sketchbook and save them. And I did, but I still, to this day, really don't know where they came from or why I drew them so much, but yep. Okay, and here we have this little menagerie of random animals, and I'm pretty sure that this was done during class at school, and I was super bored, and my friend David was sitting behind me, and I kept asking him, like, what should I draw next? And so he just started listing off animals, and I went in. So I have this llama, and I don't know what its legs are doing, but I'm pretty proud of them buck teeth right there. I was really amused by that, and I labeled all of them, because you had to know what they were. So then I had this cartoon lineup and I named them all. So cartoon cheese, cartoon mouse, cartoon box of seed, cartoon bird, and I spelled it different, and a worm, and a cat, and halfway through I was like, no, it needs to be spelled weird. It's a cartoon cat, and an apple, and a dog, but I spelled it like that because I was so smart, and cartoon bone. Yeah, I had a fox, but I don't know, I think I was like creating like a cast of characters, like it was the animal and then what they ate kind of thing, is what I think it was. I don't know really where the apple came from though. Maybe because of the worm? Maybe. I don't know, but pretty sure this was the result of boredom in class, and my friend was like, hey, do this, and I did. And then I continued, so I have this guy, another dinosaur, and I was so proud of that llama that I drew him again from the front with the buck teeth, and then I drew a camel, and I gave him buck teeth again. I was real proud of these. I was like, I was very amused by these caricatures of a camel and a llama that I drew, and I might have to revisit it because these are pretty goofy, and I'm pretty sure I can do it better. And I did a horse. Horses I drew a lot, but I was not very good at it, and I don't know what that leg is doing. So, yeah. And again, I have a clear example of why it is a bad idea to draw on both sides of your sketchbook paper if you're going to do heavy and shading, because this one got smeared from what's on the next page. But you can make out, I did a dragon, same face shape, just different angle, and he's breathing fire, and he's all raw, I guess. Yeah. My proportions are pretty terrible. But again, I was like 13. So then the reason why it's all smudged is because of this. I drew something super morbid. I've got all these dinosaurs, again, dinosaurs, and then a comet. I was like, I'm going to draw the end of the dinosaurs. And I really did not utilize the full page. I have this guy being like, hey, what's up? He's like waving, and then I don't know what kind of dinosaur this is, but he's looking up. And he's looking up. And he's looking up. There's that one. Yeah, little morbid me. A little morbid. Yep. I tried to redraw a scene from the first Jurassic Park movie when he's breaking out of the fence, so I was like, I'm going to try a car. I gave up on the car, so I just finished the T-Rex. And on the next page, more T-Rex. And this one's eating, and this one's kind of like, what you looking at? And then I got this thing up here. I did mention I drew a lot of dinosaurs, right? I should really just name this the dinosaur book, because it looks like that's all it was. Yeah. Uh-huh. Another dinosaur. Another one floating in the middle of the page that I did not utilize fully. Pretty sure I've drawn this pose many times before. That head is gigantic. Like, holy crap. Wow. More dinosaurs. Different dinosaurs. I have another one yelling because it was a pose that I thought was really cool, and I'm not entirely sure which dinosaur this is. I think I might have made it up. I can't remember. But, yeah. Salem, do you mind? Okay. Again, shade work from another page rubbed all over this one. But I drew a little snake. And this little winding thing was something that I did a lot, and I don't really know what that face is doing. But I drew Sneak. And then on the back here was another thing that my friend Dave asked me to draw. I was kind of bored, and I was like, what should I draw? And he goes, well, you should draw a panda. So I drew a panda with a little piece of bamboo, and then I tried to do a bamboo tree, but I didn't actually know what bamboo trees looked like. So, like, I gave it roots, but that's not really what they look like. And then I filled up the entire page, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to make this a little nicer, and I erased to make a circle to make it pretty, because I figured that the whole page looked a little much, but I was like, let's make this a little better. And, it's a little off-center, but I spent like a whole day in class on this, because, this was a day when we were, like, just watching movies in my science class or something, so I was like, I'm going to draw a panda. More dinosaurs. Yep. This one's got a bit of a goofy little smile, and I don't know what he's doing. And then there's this guy down at the bottom here, and I don't know what he is or what he's doing, but that face, oh my god, that face is too goofy. And birds. Didn't finish the page. Don't know what the plan was, but yeah. And here I have a page full of dragons. So, this one's just kind of chilling. Again, all the same face. Started some more and I stopped. And these guys are back here, and that one's swimming, and that one's drinking, and this one is getting him some lunch. I drew a bunny. So, yeah, whole page full of dragons. It's not dinosaurs, it's dragons. And it's dinosaurs. So I was inspired again by the opening of like the dinosaur movie, so I was like, I'm going to draw a flying scene, but I didn't finish it, so I have these guys down here and down there, and then I got something going on over here, and something in the water, and then I got that. So, yep. This little alien dude is kind of dinosaur-esque. I'm pretty sure this was drawn because I had just watched the first X-Files movie again. X-Files was my favorite show when I was growing up, and I'm pretty sure I saw the first movie the year it came out, and I watched that movie a lot. So I think I was like, I'm going to draw the alien dude, but I decided he needed a tail. I don't think they had tails in the movie, but yeah, so I drew him. More dinosaurs! So this page is actually kind of like, I was showing my friend Rachel at the time how I used to draw dinosaurs, because I didn't have my old sketchbooks or old coloring books from when I was super little, but I could remember how I used to do it. So this is how I used to draw T-Rex when I was like 6. When I was like 5 or 6. It was this giant head and then a stick body. This is how I drew him, because I remembered having that coloring book. I just don't have it anymore. And then around the time, I want to say I was about 10, I drew T-Rex like this. So again, giant head, stick body, but it's not like a stick figure. And then this is how I drew T-Rex when I was like 13, 14. And I was so proud of like the progress. And it is a lot of progress from like this to this guy. But I think it could be kind of fun to do a T-Rex now. More accurate T-Rex too, because we know they had feathers and stuff. To do a T-Rex now as like as a 28-year-old, which is kind of scary when you think about it. I am twice the age I was when I drew this. Holy crap. Anyway, and kind of do like a comparison of like T-Rex through the years. Could be kind of a fun as like a draw this again challenge someday, but because I kind of did that. I kind of did the draw this again challenge at the time in my own sketchbook, because I wanted to show what I had done. So more raptors. I don't know what they're looking at, but I got that one snarling, and that one's looking, and that one's kind of growling, and that one's just looking. But yeah, I was trying to do like foreshortening and stuff. So yeah, I watched a lot of Jurassic Park. I think I mentioned that already. And then another random assortment of animals just kind of all over the page. So I've got, I think, what is a wolf, and I got this little frog. His expression is killing me right now. And I have this gator, and then this heron behind him. His little kitty, and a mouse, and another one. And I have an owl, and a bunny. And I started something, but I didn't finish it. Chicken. A cooked chicken. Okay. Turtle. And toucan, I think? I don't know. I don't know why I drew like all these live animals and then chicken. Yeah, I don't know what that was. But again, just animal practice, because that is pretty much like what I drew back then. I didn't draw people until later. So I have what I believe is another dragon, but oh my god, its face looks different. Holy crap, I didn't know I did that. I don't think I did it for very long. This one's a little, like, chunky. So I drew another one back there, but did a new style of dragon, and I gave that thing some thighs. Holy cow, look at those. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, so tried out a different style, but I don't think I stuck with it for very long. No, I did not. Did the same one again, although I don't know what his face is doing. This face is kind of reminding me of like that worm thing in Beetlejuice right now. Maybe I was inspired by it, I can't remember, but I'm looking at it and all I can see is that worm thing. And I got this little guy down here. And on this page I have this little savannah scene. I have some antelope or gazelle or something, and I've got a lioness right there, and a little teeny one right there, and another one there, and then I got a rhino with a bird, and then another bird up here. And I even started drawing in like grass and stuff, but I didn't actually finish the background. But I put in background elements to make it better, I guess. So that was a thing. And dinosaur and saber-tooth tiger. Again, two little things, whole big page. Okay, so the sudden jump in quality is because I actually had reference for this. I called it Phoenix, and I don't even, did I spell phoenix right? I think I did. But this is actually based off of a picture of an ancient bird. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but it was the one that was called like the first bird, but we know it's one of many kind of thing. I had this little book of like these little pamphlets in it that had like animals, and it was facts about animals, and I used to use it for drawing reference. My grandmother gave it to me, and it was like this binder style thing, and then you sign up and then you get the pamphlets in the mail and you put them in the binder, I guess is how the deal went. And then my grandparents did that for a while. When their subscription ended, they just kind of gave me the whole thing, and I used that for drawing reference forever. And it was separated by categories. So you had mammals on one page and you had reptiles in another section. It was like folders and stuff. I don't have it anymore. It's in a box to be donated because I'm not keeping it. At the time it was a great resource, but you can find the same pictures on Google Images now. So, but yeah, so I drew this guy, and I was like, I'm gonna call it Phoenix, even though this is actually like a dinosaur. So, and then these were more things that I used it for. Like, I use this thing for a lot. So I looked at reference of a tiger, and I drew that reference of a leopard, I think. And I remember really loving this drawing because this kind of pose was something I could not do by myself. So having this little book to draw from was awesome. And another tiger, and a cheetah, and this guy, serval, I think? I want to say it's a serval. Can't remember. And then you could see kind of like faces that I like erased and tried again. So I used that book for a lot of reference, and I had that thing for quite a while. Okay, so these last two pages were done in high school, and these things are kind of really like random. I had a couple of pages left and I needed to jot some ideas down, so this is what I used it for. So this is Lavender the Punk Squirrel. This character was invented by me and my friend Terry back in high school, I believe. And I had some classes with her, and we were kind of jokingly making up this character about this really punk little squirrel who like rode on a motorcycle and caused trouble, and he was like gonna steal like acorns or something from like these chipmunks who were like ninjas or something. It was so silly. And we had this joke about how like when he was breaking into their house, they had a guard snail, and we were like, he's gonna use salt on it, and it's so evil and so bad. So it was this little punk little squirrel, and I kind of want to draw him again. So I was like, some chipmunks are gonna die today, and he's whipping something around. And I actually drew a comic of this for my friend Terry like a couple of years later, because she was leaving, hello Salem, she was leaving the Fine Arts Academy at high school, and I was staying, so we weren't going to have classes together anymore. So I made like this little comic on lined paper. I drew it on lined paper and I stapled it and everything, and I was like, here you go, I drew Lavender the Squirrel, and it opened up with like Born to be Wild and everything. It was so ridiculous, and I kind of want to do it again. I'm gonna have to message her and see if she remembers how it went, because this was something I was super proud of. It was so freaking goofy, and it was great. And then on this other side, my mom and I were planning on making matching t-shirts, and we were jokingly, I was the minor bitch in training and she was major bitch, was kind of the joke. So we were kind of like designing t-shirts and stuff, and this was early high school that I did this, and we never did it. It was just kind of an in-joke that we had at the time, and she was pretty sure she's still pagan, but at the time she was doing like her year in a day, so she was making like her dress and all that other stuff, and I was kind of helping her with that. And here's more of that. This was for Mom's shirt. She wanted me to design a phoenix for her, and her little like pentagram and stuff, pentacle. And then I was thinking she was gonna make me one too, and she used like fabric paint on stuff, and I was trying to design what I wanted it to be, and I was like really into the goth thing, and I never really grew out of that. But so that's what I was designing, and continue to design on the back here. But and yeah, I never really actually finished it, so. And then here's the last page. This is the final design of the phoenix that my mom, I'm pretty sure she actually did put on the back of her shirt with fabric paint. So it was like glittery and stuff. So this was the final design of the phoenix that I did for her. And I kind of like the overall look. I can't remember how this was inspired, but I do actually like the kind of basic look for it, so I might want to revisit this as a draw again thing perhaps. But yeah, this was the end of the sketchbook, so that's the end of sketchbook number 1. A lot of dinosaurs, like I said, but some good stuff in there that I might like to revisit. Definitely have to revisit Lavender the Squirrel. I forgot how goofy that was, so I might actually message Terry today and ask if she remembers it, because that was pretty goofy. But anyway, I think that does it for this week's video. I've got 25 more sketchbooks that I've labeled, so I've got sketchbook tour videos for quite a while, and I will do one every month, so keep an eye out for those and let me know what you think. And yeah, I guess that does it for this week's video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Doodles!